Hello. Good evening. Just 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
If it's noisy, please don't open the mic. It's fine. Yeah, I could hear you guys. Okay. Uh, Thanks. Okay, coming back to okay. So last class we completed that fourth lecture slides, right? Some parts were pending, so we completed that, and then just 1 minute. Hmm. So after that, after that, we started with this structured output. We in fact went to the code and then saw what is the exact difference, right? So I hope any doubts on it, like any, do you want me to go through the code once again, or it's I think we took around 20 minutes to explain, right? So I guess that should be sufficient. Anybody wants me to go through that again, or we'll start with the slides?
We can continue, sir, from here.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
continue slides.
Yeah. So that was good. Yeah, that is another one thing I wanted to say. Last week you had quiz, right? I think some of you, I got an email, not an email, there are a lot of few emails, maybe 10 emails, I guess. They have not attended the quiz. I hope they don't attend classes also. Uh, so no problem. Tell them to. I'll
Yeah, me
open the
also not
quiz.
attended the quiz, sir.
Okay, you also didn't attend. Why you didn't attend?
Missed the class last year. That's why.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Sir, your
I'll
voice
open
is
it.
not clear. It's lagging in between.
Oh, just let me check. My I'm audible now. Better or same? Can you hear me?
Sir, it's still
That's
not,
not.
it's still the same.
There is some issue with mic.
Yes, sir.
Is it fine now?
No, sir.
No, it remains
Mm,
same. I mean, not
It's a
That's
vibrating
same. Huh?
kind of sound. Vibrations are there.
Oh,
It sounds like we are hearing some
okay.
radio.
Oh, second. So let me check. I don't know my headphones. It's a new one. I don't know. That's the problem, I guess. I don't know what else to do. Okay, let me connect with the this one. Let me check. Just give me a minute. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anyone?
No, sir, it's still the same issue.
Oops. Okay, the headphones. I really couldn't hear anything. Maybe the issue.
Sir, I don't think the problem is with the network. I think there's some problem with mic itself.
Okay, but mic I changed, right? I changed my headphones to my Bluetooth earphones. Still the same thing?
Sir, we are not able to hear you properly.
Yes, yes, let me shift to that. Is it better now or the same?
Yeah, we can hear you, but not that much clarity. I think that's what.
I don't know what is the problem. Um, is this better than the previous one or it's same?
Yeah, it's okay.
Better.
Actually, we can able to hear and understand. I think that not a problem.
Yeah. Okay, okay. I don't know what's the
The
problem
the
because
voice is coming properly, sir, but it lots of surroundings as noisy voice come out. Otherwise, I mean, we can hear you.
there is no noise the surrounding. It's
Look
damn
like you are
silent here.
speaking in a room and your voice is bumbling.
Oh, maybe I've closed the windows. It's cold, right? Okay, let me open the windows. Is it fine now?
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Yes, perfect.
Is it better? Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
yes, perfect, sir.
Okay. I closed all the windows and doors because of cold. Oh, ऐसे भी होता है. Okay. It's very strange. I thought there should not be any noise. I closed it because of winter. Okay. Okay. Yes. Thanks. Yeah. Understood. Okay. Coming back to the quiz, right? The quiz. We will be. Uh, yeah, we will be. Like I'll be opening the quiz maybe today. After this class. Okay. So tell them by tonight, whoever has not completed, just put it in the to your WhatsApp group or somewhere. I'll also post it in the announcement. It will be open for 3 years. Okay. So I guess it's maximum is 30 minutes, I guess, right? So duration is 30 minutes. So it will be open from 7 to 10, 7 to 10 or 6 to 9. Okay. So I'll close it by 9. So please ensure everybody completes it by that time. Okay. So that's the point I wanted to say. And how is the assignments going on? All good? I think the last date is
I think 7th of December.
7 December.
7. Okay, 7, 10, 8 more days. Okay, I guess assignment is very easy, right? Should be
Yes,
very
sir. Sir,
easy.
I have one doubt. So in the assignment, they have asked to draw architecture diagram, but in my paper, there was no architecture diagram for the GPT-4. So do I need to create it using my own understanding, or I have to redraw using the standard architecture what GPT-4 follows?
Oh, I don't know what's your topic?
GPT-4 technical report.
Okay, then you should whatever your. I don't think the GPT-4 architecture is available anywhere. Correct, because
Right.
it is not provided by OpenAI. But yeah, the second point, what you mentioned, you whatever you have understanding, from that you can prepare some architecture, right? So that will be a probable one. I agree with that. A probable one means whatever you can get the details from the report, that one you can use it to draw the architecture. That's good. Yeah,
Okay.
that should be fine. Yeah. Just that you ensure that from where you are taking it, like maybe the report is for 100 pages, ensure which part confirms you that one of the component in your architecture is, like every component in the architecture is valid, right? So why? Because this will be required for you also to when you are explaining to somebody, right? So because you have to explain to two other students, right? So
Right,
that
sir.
time, yeah, that time, please do uh, validate also. Okay. So
Okay.
everyone else in the call, I just wanted to tell one more thing. So whenever you listen to anybody else lecture, uh, if they have added, that's fine. If they have not added, for anything and everything, they say that okay, this paper says this paper has given like this is what is the inference is fine. Inference is that student specific, but whatever it's he said, it is mentioned here. It is the details given in the paper. Just ask which part of the paper says that. Okay, so we'll double verify that citation part. Okay. So that should be your duty as a reviewer. Okay.
Sir, the same question I had also, I got the answer. But second thing is like within a slide, I am feeling challenged to add the content within one slide. That many things are asked into that. Uh, like 4 5 questions into that, and technical description also need to be added into the single slide, and maximum 10 slide we can add. So can
In
we?
fact, I will tell you one thing.
Yes,
Even
sir.
this slide is too much of content. Ideally, I should not add this much content. This is actually teaching slide. I accept that. Okay, this is this much. It is not teaching slide. If it is only teaching slide, it should have only have maximum these 6 points. Like can you see here? So these six. I'm not telling only these 6 points. Only 6 bullet points per slide. It should be there. You go and watch one TED talk about. I don't know what is the name of that talk. You should go and watch that TED talk. It's there in YouTube. So it is very good. You will understand how much a presentation slide, one slide, and the complete presentation, how much it should be there. Okay. So coming back to our point, do not add much. Here I have added much because you guys will use this for reading for exam. So that's why we added. Otherwise, the right amount of slide is something like this. One slide should have maximum this much content, 3 or maximum 6 points. So maybe this is fine. These are all too much. These are all because you will read it for exam. So theoretically, so much is there. Otherwise, you should not have more than not even like this. Only these header points should be there. Okay. Header points and one liner explanations. 6 points with 6 1-liners maximum. This is the ideal way to give any presentation. Okay. So don't try to stuff more information because that's not what I am expecting actually. See, my expectation, I told you last to last class itself that using the slides, you should be able to explain to your fellow students. Okay. And this is very high level. That's fine. We are interested on high level means not out of the subject. The paper in a high level. If so, for example, if I read the paper and then come back to this slide, I should be able to understand that. Okay, I should be able to revise what was there in the paper. That is the requirement here.
Sir, completely understand. But what is happening here? It is writing like a explain each and every component, and like in my paper, I am finding like 10, 12 components, and writing for each and every component a bit also to explain that it is exploding. So that's reason. Okay. Uh,
No, I cannot extend the number of slides because it has to be, yes, of course, I understand it again. I cannot generalize this concept, what I told also, what I mentioned also, because of course, some pages, some papers are 100 pages, some papers are 3 pages.
So there will be different, but try to squeeze in and put it in a slide. Make like this smaller font. So 12 points, whatever you said, 12 components, 1 or 2 line explanation for each of them. I think that is the thing I can say. I don't want to go for more number of slides because I am planning to evaluate it in automated ways, not using, it will not go manually. Okay. So if you give more also, and it is very too much content, maybe the marks may go down. I'm not sure about it. I've not prepared the prompts till now and the workflows till now. So I'll prepare the workflows and for automatic evaluation. And then if there is some part, if I feel that some LFs have to review, they will review it. Okay.
So just a single example, like in one slide, you are asking explain
Mhm.
each and every component, whatever we have
Mhm.
draw into diagram technically, and after that we have to describe the interaction between the all of them component. Then we have to mention the algorithm and process and whatever the mathematical essentials are there. So summing all of them in one
See,
slide, it's like a yeah. Uh,
see, I'll tell you
so
one guidance.
yes, sir.
Consider that you are going to your management, your CEO or your top people. Okay, not the tech guys. Consider that you are going and explaining the paper to your CEO. He will not have time to see a lot of technical stuff, right? So what is in it? What is for me out, right? So what is
Mhm.
for the business? So that's what we are expecting here. Don't be, see, it's very easy to be more and more elaborate. It's like if you give it to GPT, it will give you a big slides. I'll tell you, if you put it in cloud, I can show you. You send me any paper in 15 minutes, I can prepare some 20 slides. But I don't want you to prepare that. I wanted
Mhm.
you to squeeze it to when you understand, you know what is the exact word, which is the crux of the paper, exact words, I should say. Only those you mention in different parts of the presentation. Only 8 slides, right? So keep it
Right, sir.
top level, but very highly technical words. Wherein, if I maybe in future, like I will prefer, I was thinking that also. Maybe I will call randomly somebody if I have some doubts, or my prompt also will say this. So when I automatically evaluate, it will say which of them require manual evaluation. So in those cases, maybe we can like I'll tell my LFs to have an interaction with you specifically with individuals just for 5 minutes to understand whether the return thing was understood by the student or not. Okay, so that is also possible. I'm not saying that for sure it will happen, but I wanted you guys to learn as simple as that. It's nothing like I'm compelling, I'm double checking, nothing like that. It's just that, okay, one hard rule, yeah, except it will be very irritating or whatever it is. But I want you guys to read the paper, understand it, as well as 2 other papers or many other papers where you will review from other students. You will learn more. So that's my intent. That's correct or not? According to me, it's correct. So you guys can give a feedback if this intention and this assignment style is good or not. Any feedback on the assignment style?
Sir, I have feedback, sir.
Yeah, yeah, tell me.
Sir, assignment is very good with respect to learning purpose. I think we we will go through like different relevant topics.
Mhm,
That way it is good. But when you said right, you are planning to evaluate through workflow or
mhm,
automation.
mhm,
So it
mhm,
is a little tricky thing in my view because
mhm,
I mean LLM based on the prompts, it will not be able to satisfy. It has always said that okay, this something can be improved. Always. I mean that is generally I
Okay.
observed.
Don't worry. Yeah, yeah. I have worked with lot of LLM calls. I understand how to give 10. Don't worry,
Sir,
it will be
also, sir,
mostly 10.
one-
If you have completed, it will come 10. 2, 3 suggestions are fine. My intention is the LLM will evaluate major uh, things only. Like, you understand? It's not like suggestions. Of course, I understand you. It will always give a suggestion to improve upon, and that is different. Critical bugs should not be there. Just that wrong words or incorrectly quoted stuff. Maybe if you would have already used LLM, some of them would be incorrect, right? Until you read it and correct it. Okay, yeah, come
Right,
back.
sir. So
Yeah.
one more, sir, before this is last from me. Uh,
Mhm.
if, suppose the paper contains 2, 3 architectural diagram, like small, like chain of thoughts, for example. So we want to redraw in our presentation because we cannot take liberty to like add few things because it's just a kind of a redrawing the same thing. Eh, That should be fine, right? I mean,
Oh, don't copy and paste it. According to me, see, I'll tell you one thing. See, there are some papers where the architectural diagrams are as it is. Okay. But if you will take a screenshot and paste it, the whole purpose of uh, this assignment goes zero, right? So my point is, okay, you have understood that, I'll agree. But my point is, add on some more details. I'll always say, see, that whatever paper I have seen, it will have only the core concept. So if you can add some details to it, like for example, what if that is not there? Many times that kind of diagram, comparison diagrams are also available directly, but try to find some logic into that and add that some components into it. Or you can only make the box diagram. That's also fine. But do something different from what is exactly there in the paper. See, one more thing I'll tell. Mostly, if you have done uh, like done the assignment, you will get either 8, 9, or 10 only. Okay, to be truthful. So only that 1 or 2 marks will be different. So please read it. Okay, until you have not submitted correctly or you have like missed some slide, then you may get less than 8. Other than that, 8, 9, 10 will be sure. Only thing is, please ensure that you read and learn something and don't like as usual people blame the office time, right? So we are very busy in office, so we are not having time. This logic, so of course in that case you should not be here. So if you have taken that extra what is that you have taken that pledge that you will complete this degree, do it genuinely. It will be surely be useful. Correct.
sure, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody else is saying something. All
I
good,
think
all
I was
answered.
just saying the same point that I have like 50% of the slide is diagrams only. So that might need some extra tooling in AI.
Yeah, yeah, we can do. No, we'll take care. Don't worry. See, I told you 8, 9, 10 only will be there. Most probably, I will see whenever there is a 10 out of LLM, I will not review it. So that's the point of this LLM workflow. I'll tell you, it's like we'll put the workflow. If LLM itself gives 10 out of 10, I will just ignore those papers. So it will save my LF's time, right? So whichever LF, whichever result like presentation is less than 10 as per LLMs or the workflow, only those my LFs will review. Okay, the teams LFs will review. And if they feel those are also like 10, then we will give 10. I hope this will answer many of the questions. Is that fine? So that you don't need to worry that LLM will reduce the marks.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So, and whoever has not submitted, of course, will get less 0 or something. So assignments are, see, you will pass this paper. That guarantee I can give. If you genuinely attend all the components, I'm not even saying study and just attend. Okay. Attend, write something, and just go through the lectures. Simple, right? I think that I can guarantee you can pass and get 70 marks. I think most of the students earlier they got just listen to all the questions, sorry, lectures, and then come to the exam, write it. Whatever thought process you have, write it. Don't skip the questions. Okay. So one of the student, I think last semester, he came, he was requesting marks. He was having some 5.9 or 4.9. Just 2, 3 marks would have given one more grade for in my paper, and he would have passed the semester. So critical, right? But it is when I went back to see only 2 questions he has attended in main paper, comprehensive. And the 2 questions he has got, we have given almost full marks, like only 0.5 less. And that's what I told him. If you have written something in the other paper, other questions, I would have given you mark. How come he sat 2.5 hours? He wrote only 2 questions. I don't know. Whatever is the reason. Maybe he was unable to upload or whatever it is the reason. But very bad luck. So please do write something. Whatever you feel, write it. So many times it will be correct. Okay. And quiz one results are not yet graded. Yes, I didn't open the answers because I wanted to reopen it so that those who have missed, ideally those, in fact, how funny it is. Even yesterday, I got an email from a student that I have missed. Means they have understood that there was a quiz 5 days before just yesterday. Yeah. So I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't want to take anything from them. We will give an opportunity. Okay, so any other question in assignment class like LLM, can you please explain? It's already mentioned, right? So whether you have used LLM or not, you have to mention. So it's a genuine stuff, right? Nowadays, apart from citing the paper where you have taken the complete slides content, apart from that, you have used LLM or not, and how much content, like whether you have used 50%, 70%. So it's a genuine disclosure. So ideally, nobody will write 100%. Of course, if you can write, that is also fine. Will not reduce the marks because of that. If you're this one, but point is only the 8 slides you will use for LLM, right? So the ninth slide, of course, is not from LLM. So you will be getting it from your fellow students. That's a feedback slide, right? I think that's interesting, right? So, somebody
So
raised the hand.
just one thing to share. I
Mhm.
really appreciate and like the style of the assignment and what you're expecting out of it. We could be short of time because of our other commitments, but I really love the way it is being structured and the intent behind it. So it's really helpful overall. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
Thank you.
yes,
Next.
I sat and thought for because of during the semester break, right? So I used to think how to like conduct this assignment and exams. So exams, though we have so final exam is more of like we have to make people to get some marks. So I'm telling genuinely from my intention because we don't want anybody to fail, right? So of course that's not a uh, I was a student, right? So I understand that better. So we always want everybody to score and be happy, be motivated. That's the main point. So final exam goes like that. So we always expect some. That's why I mostly give what is that? Subjective questions. So there is no correct answer. There is no wrong answer. So if somebody gives some very good answers, he will surely get full marks. And if the person who does not know the answer, he writes something, oh, maybe you can say something which is related to that, test related to that, some keywords which he has listened in the class or studied from the slides. That's sufficient. Half of the marks will be given. So final exam goes like that. So only exam which is really critical and will make a huge difference is the mid exam. This is even when I was student, the same logic. If you score 30 out of 30 or 29, 28 out of 30, you can guarantee that I can, like I used to be more confident that I will get A in this. Because of the reason that final exam will be like this for every paper. So only difference is this mid exam. Mid exam, if you score, you will be fine. If you score badly, then you have to very seriously study. One of the paper I had a very bad mark. I think 19 out of 30. So like I had to study so much to get that A finally. But that was like 30 out of 30 I got in. No, 30, 40 out of 40 I got in final. So I got A. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Right? So it's fine. And that too, that paper for the final exam, they kept the full syllabus from starting onwards. And in fact, 10 or 15 marks is completely from before mid exam. So the point here, what I want to say is the assignments are the only place where it's more of a different approach. It's completely on my hand. That's the one point. It's not on like mid exam. I have to follow some specification standards for setting the question paper and all. And final exam also same way. But quiz, yes, quiz also is my hand, but I mostly give it to the LFs, so they do it better. And only thing which is in my hand is the assignment, the complete structure. Anything I can do, just that it should be related to the subject. So it can be coding, it can be paper, or anything. So I was thinking a lot of times when I go to sleep, I will be thinking about this. So I got this idea that which is missing, which I felt like when I go to company after studying this, I have to present it, right? So even for an interview, even though they say that you don't require presentations, I always prepare for presentation. Every interview I attend as a uh, candidate, I prepare presentation. So I prefer to show some slides about me and my technical expertise, my projects. So that's my style. So I don't know whether managers took it positively or they got irritated, but that's my style. So you should learn the uh, art of storytelling, or the ideally I should not say presentation. It's storytelling. If you can without slides, if you can tell, that's great. But I am handicapped in that sense. My words are not so good. As I always say, I'm not good in English, so my words may miss out. I myself will forget about myself. So I will prefer to have a slide with some few jotted down bullet points, which will remind me to speak about more about those points which I wanted to convey to the either the manager or my management in the company, right? So the art of storytelling, according to me, starts from the presentation slides. So if you prepare a very good presentation slide, very good looking, not so much colorful, but very professional looking slides, you already won their heart around 25%. Okay. And nowadays AI tools are there. You can prepare. That's why I'm not restricting you guys not to prepare, right? Second part is learning something from this paper and then creating it, because that is what in real life we do, right? In real life, we have a lot of unstructured data, knowledge, but we do not know how to put it in in an order flow, in an ordered flow, right? So that is what we are testing in this. Like I'm trying to test. I don't know whether I succeed or not, but that's the intention of putting it in this slides. So the art of presentation, art of preparing the slides, and second thing is presentation also. So that's where this feedback ninth slide came in. So in fact, my intention, I put it to I think Gemini. I subscribed Gemini. So it gave me a lot of more ideas, structured one, but it was saying that you give more slides, There are a lot of issues like what one of our students was saying that some paper will be 200 slides, 200 pages, another will be pages. So I have to put that limitation. Forgive me for that kind of, because we are handling around 500 plus students, right? So I cannot give flexibility for these. In somewhere something will be limiting. I accept that, but we will take care. Don't worry. So 10 out of 10, mostly you will get, and 9 and 8 will come if you make have some very missed some points or the diagrams are very low. Last time I remember any diagrams. So mainly I concentrate on diagrams because in company also I'm an architect, right? Architect plus manager. So whenever I go, I want the diagram to speak, not the words. I don't read anything. If either it is hardware like infrastructure diagram or the data flow diagram. If you can prepare these two, but you're a great engineer according to me. You speak or not doesn't matter. Your data flow speaks, and that's what any chatbot or any agentic workflow. Your data flow is there in a diagrammatic way. You understand, and each of the component you should be able to speak about. And same thing in architecture also, like infrastructure architecture. If you want to AWS, Azure, I worked on both. So if you can make the infrastructure architecture and explain each and every component why it is there, what should be the sizing based on the input data volume. If you can do that, Ron, you're an awesome architect. So that's the point. Diagram speaks a lot. I wanted to keep more number of diagrams, but the objectives and because it's mostly theoretical paper, right? So the general format, 8 slides format, I prepared. Okay. So this is my intention. Hope everyone likes it. It's not just to say that I have done a great job. It's just that I wanted you guys to learn something out of it and during the process of the assignment, not just only reading the paper. Okay. So preparing slides, spending some time with your colleagues, and that's very important in future also. Many of the students last class I have seen, they don't even know their students. Nobody, they don't know anybody. They come like maybe some of them I should say, not many of them. Some of them, they come to me asking, sir, you allocate a group for me. How can it be? You have studied with them for last one year, I guess, right? 1 year, and you don't know any one student. It's not correct, right? So you should speak. Don't worry. Maybe you speak to somebody. Maybe that vibe did not match. Latest terms. So go for another person. Don't be ashamed of like, or these people are like this. No, nobody has time. In fact, I agree with that. Nobody has time, but you have to pull right? Pull some friends because the contacts are very important. Friendship, it's not only for what do you say, technical requirement or job requirement. It's for friendship also, right? You will always cherish the friendship like you had in your MTech ever. Forget about what you learned or you didn't learn anything. You can scold anybody, any firm or anything, but you will always love your friends. That's what we do. There is a group in our, we'll study and just scold each other, scold everything else. But friends are friends, right? So that's the takeaway. At least have something in. I don't know whether I make sense here or not, but hopefully. So that is the intention of having that feedback session. So you pull in two people, explain your technical concept, have some chit chat more than that technical discussion about the paper, and create some friendship. If you already have friendship, then talk about your family, future perspective. What do you want to do in your life? Just talk for 15-20 minutes more. Okay, so enjoy your time this because I'll tell you after this 1.5 2 years, really will miss this life. Maybe it is not as good as your BTech college, but it is not as worse as your only company life. It is intermediate. So use that intermediate level of friendship at least. Okay. So don't say that okay, it's not like BTech physical presence type, right? It's person and person. So don't miss this opportunity to create friendship. Okay, so I just poured in all my thoughts. So hope just to share that, learn and make friendship. That's the only thing you can take away from here. Whatever money you spend doesn't matter. You will get back if you will get good friends and if you get the right knowledge. Right knowledge is very important. Studying so much doesn't make you get you the right knowledge. The right knowledge is what is important to crack something, either your promotion or your hike or your interviews. The right knowledge is very important, right? So there are a lot of knowledge out there nowadays. LLMs everywhere. You have a lot of knowledge, but you should crack that right knowledge required for the right instance. Right? That's what I also feel. If you don't speak the correct words and correct technical things at the right moment, you lose the opportunity. So it's not that you're not intelligent, but you have not cracked that correct direction. It's as simple as that. Okay. Pretty much it, yeah. I guess you guys might be more older, more intelligent than me. Just uh, ignore my advices if it's not applicable for you guys. Okay. Okay. Coming back to the tech part. Okay, this is a very easy part. This slides as we go. So we are seeing this. We are seeing this two difference in this code. What we saw last class, there are two differences. Like we pulled this Queen 2.5 model, 1.5 billion each time. Okay. So we took it from Hugging Face and then we made an unstructured call and then structured call. Okay. So structured call is where is this is structured call. So there are two calls. Why is structured call required? And you can have unstructured call for a different reason. So it's not like that. It's completely replaced by structured calls. Okay, unstructured call is required when you wanted a response, when you wanted natural language response. Okay, it didn't die. So don't think that okay, every call should be structured. So when do you want structured solution is so when you wanted to further process it. So that's a very important thing. Predictable schema because so you wanted to take the output of the LLM and then use it somewhere in your what do you call in your code, right? In your code, or you wanted to create something out of it. Okay. But if you wanted to speak like how I am speaking, right? Whatever comes in my mind, I speak. So this is also in conversation. Maybe it makes sense, but at least it is relevant to what I am doing now, right? So for these, you don't need to get an structured output. You have to get a free from output. Okay, so that's the point. So when you have to get an structured, when you have to get structured output is when you are going to process it later. I guess there. So if you see, this is the unstructured call. So this is the response. So this is like a natural language response, right? Human response. But when you wanted structured call, so you get like this. This is the raw LLM output. You see how it is very beautifully in JSON format. Okay. And one, I remember there is one more thing. Instead of JSON format, you can get it in the tune format also. Nowadays, it's very famous. Okay, go and I guess I mentioned this in the previous class also. You can go and read about tune. Okay. So, but output you can take it in JSON format only. Even in tool format, if you get, you can convert it to JSON. So once you can easily extract it, right? So now you can extract it, and then these are all keys and values, right? So in that case, you can call any function. So you can call any function using this keys, right? So in this step, you are validating it, validating whether this location is a string or not. whether this unit is a string or not. So in fact, it's not a string. We are giving an classification type. It's a binary classification, either Celsius or Fahrenheit. Okay. So we are validating either of that category only. No other. It's not a very common string. Here we are giving as a free flow string, but here we are giving an option, either it's Celsius or Fahrenheit. Here it should be an integer. So this is what we are expecting, and that is what the LLM also has given. And since the extracted JSON gets validated using this pydantic, and it is successful, validation is successful. So now once it is successful, then we can go for the function, any relevant function or API you can call along with this 3 parameter. Okay. Suppose validation fails. Okay, validation fails, you can send it back to the LLM. That's the workflow, right? So this is just a one call steps, right? So once the LLM calls and then extract JSON, and during validation, if it fails, then just send it back to LLM, exactly explaining what is that error, because there will be an error during validation. Okay, capture that error, and along with the whatever is the LLM output originally you got, along with this output, along with this error, you send it back to the LLM, and it will correct it. So this is like second time you are giving chance. So again, the same thing. Again, when the output will come, then again you extract it, again validate it. So most probably second time, 100% of the time, it gets at least 95% of the time, it gets validated. So then you can go for the call. If it doesn't happen first time, send the error along with the output. Okay, first time. So and it will correct it. So that's what. So all the GPTs, Chat GPT or Gemini, everything does that same thing. Nobody gives one LLM calls output. Okay. So if there is an error when sending a response to you, it will again go back to the LLM with that error and then validate it and then gives the output to you. That's why mostly Copilot or Gemini chatbot or chat GPT gives very mostly correct answer. Right? Also, if you want, you can do a evaluation also if you want. But here, I don't think it's required. This is if you're going for production level, then you have to have a validation also. Not validation, evaluation. Okay, validation we already have. Evaluation also you can have, so that you will get some confidence score, and that using that confidence score, then you can process. Like once the confidence score is more than 0.9, then only you go to the next step of function calling. Okay, using this parameter. Okay, so that's the point. Any question? Today's quiz is not for all. It is only for those who have missed. Ideally, I will not even, it will not be open for others. I will check whoever sent email to me for only for those specifically. I'll give their email IDs in that permission list. Okay.
So do I need to send? I'm not sending you email, sir. So do I need to send email?
Yes, yes, yeah. You have to send an email.
Okay.
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 So with your email, email ID, so I'll be talking with that. Send it from your bits email. Okay. So just that I'll copy and paste it in that policy and then submit. Okay, so these are all the points. So mid-exam, you have to uh, somewhat remember at least 3 or 4 points of these. Okay. And it's like, I'll tell you one thing, this complete slides, this set of this slide, lecture 5, right? So this looks like I am bargaining for a structured JSON. Okay, but in exam, you will expect the other way around. I'll ask when free from output is required. Yeah, I mentioned it at the start of the class. So just I am giving a hint. Whatever I talk without the slides, or most probably the questions will come. Okay. So reading the slides, you may get an answer. I don't say that you'll not get an answer, but mostly what I speak casually, which is really important, will come. Okay. Makes sense. So listening to the class is very important. Okay, either recording or here. Okay, Jason Schema's contact. Yeah. So this is the how do you define, right? One thing. I've been talking so much about it. I wanted to show you guys because that's currently it's very important. It- So, so this is the tune format I was talking about. Okay, so it is token oriented object notation. Okay, so there was a very funny LinkedIn post. Some very highly intelligent person was saying that this, these LLM folks are talking about tune. It's basically CSV. I just passed that message and went to the next message. So please do read it. Okay. So then before you going to the LinkedIn or anywhere and start giving uh, information or sharing or attacking someone, like offending someone. It's fine. Okay. If you are sharing some incorrect information, that's still fine. But when you're offending some other party, I don't belong to that party, for example. I'm not a LLM guy, but there are a lot of LLM folks in LinkedIn, right? So he was trying to offend them in a very funny way, but in fact, he became a joker out of it. You can go and check in the LinkedIn. But my point is, without proper information, do not offend anybody. Then unnecessarily, it's a somebody like a junior or some new person into LinkedIn will learn wrong information, right? So that is also one reason. Apart from that person getting like a lot of other comments or arguments is fine, but apart from that, somebody else will read only his LinkedIn message. They may think that that is true, right? So don't spread wrong information. That's why I don't really post anything because I myself am not 100% confident on any of the techniques, right? So until you're 100% confident, universally proven, because everything is evolving. So don't share wrong information, at least out in the market, because people should not learn wrong things. So what I'm trying to say is this JSON, right? So this is what we always know. But the tool format is like this. You see, so this is the JSON. It's a very big, right? It's a very big one, right? A lot of tokens are there. So if you see, this is the tool conveys the same information with fewer tokens. This is specifically useful for yes, what do you call this LLMs, right? So you can use less number of tokens. So it is basically a combination of ML like indentation with CSV styler. It's not just a CSV. Okay, that's the point. So I don't know whether the person who was offending like everyone he read this sentence or not, but whatever. So point is you just understand this so that you can save some money for your company or your own if you're using your own LLM call by you're paying for your LLMs, and this is a good point to save some money, right? So this has like I think the tool reaches 74 accuracy, 74 accuracy. This is 70% at time. So the accuracy is also very good. Why this is it's not because of the structure of tool. Always understand when you prepare a prompt, if it is with less words, if you can do get the same task done, it will be more efficient than in fact the amount of tokens lesser. Okay, so that's the point. You see here 40% fewer tokens. It's not only for tools. I knew this last year itself. With less tokens, like your English prompt, whatever you're writing, if you can write something in a very, very short form. So, like we were discussing about the slides, right? So, when you go and talk to your management, you don't talk so much, right? You talk to the point. So, if you can specify the same big thing, maybe more detailed thing in less number of words, any LLM performs better. I have seen this long time. So like at least the last 1.5 years. So that's the point. 40% is lesser tokens, but that is also improving the accuracy also. But the information is same. the point is, ideally the accuracy should not increase. Its only reason is the LLM is more intelligent when more faster and processes it in a more detailed way, right? If you understand the attention layers inside, so if it is less words, it has more opportunity to create that attention on a particular word based on the surrounding context. That's the point of this accuracy increase. So, and of course, it's less token. That is the major reason why this tomb came. Okay, so tomb why it came in compact human readable serialization of JSON for LLM prompts. Okay, token optimization is the main requirement. Okay, so retrieval is secondary thing. Token optimization is the main thing. Apart from that, it's an added advantage that since it is less amount, less number of tokens, the LLM is able to focus on it in a better way. Okay. So that yeah, this is what I wanted because this is related to our this structure. Okay, so I have not covered this here because it's a very recent stuff. Maybe I will include it in the next slide, but that's for your learning. Okay. So, so how it all started? So just one thing I wanted to know. Okay, we'll go through and then get that. So if you see here, this is about OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini is there. Okay. So tell me, what about Deep Seek? When did they give tool use option? Is my question clear?
Come again, sir.
When did DeepSeek have lots of models, right? So I wanted you to research in the internet. It's a small task because you can take 5 minutes. Research in the internet. When did DeepSeek introduce function calling ability? Understood the question? So you see here, OpenAI launched function calling in 2020. Okay. Then followed by Anthropic, it was in 2023 Q4. Okay. So added tool use. Tool use is almost function calling. And Gemini introduced function calling in 2024. Okay. So same thing. Parallel function call becomes standard across all major providers. Just tell me, DeepSeek models, which of them? Oh, no, I want to make it a little more complicated. Any of the open source models, uh, you take any of the open source model and tell me uh, which one the previous version did not have function calling, and that maybe like for example, I'll tell you Llama. I do not know. Okay, I wanted you to do the research. Llama 3.2 did not have function calling ability. Okay. But Llama 3.3 had the function calling ability. So I want such kind of answers. Just take
DeepSeek
some
V3 introduced function calling. So
then V3. V2 did not have.
no,
Okay, very good. So any other answers? Any other LLM?
The DeepSeek has not introduced this function calling as of now.
DeepSeek.
Yes, sir.
That's it, yeah. Well,
Yes,
somebody
just
told V2, say V3.
I did
V3
the
has
Google,
come.
so no,
Okay.
sir. I did the Google. It's
Now,
getting it is not publicly available.
The function calling means MCP, external function.
no. MCP is not function. MCP is not function. MCP is an agent. Ah. So what I'm trying to say here is function calling means structured output, right? So when you ask for a structured output, where it can itself, so it can call a function according directly. If you write a function in Python and give that function to it, it can directly give you the output as a function name so that you can call it easily. Okay.
I think in DeepSeek when I introduce it allowing that.
Okay. You think is fine. Go and read about these two reports. and then confirm it. Okay. Okay. And this is for you
So
to
Quen 3 introduced
review.
on April 28, I think.
Which one?
Quen 3, Quen model. It is also open
Hmm.
source model.
Which model?
3, model 3. They call it 3,
Three.
3 series, yeah.
When did they introduce?
April 28, 2005. Yeah, 25, sorry.
Llama. Can anybody do a research on Llama? Any model. Keep it smaller models. Don't go for bigger models. Like 8 billion. Tell me the model version. Which version did not have function calling? 3.1 did not have or had? Have.
3.1 had, sir, July 23, 24.
Okay. 3.1 had.
Yeah, from 3.1 it is.
3.1. Okay. So when it is July 24.
July 23, 24, yeah.
23 or 24? It's a date or yeah. Is it correct?
Yes,
24,
sir.
right?
24,
Or
yeah.
23?
24, sir.
Okay. Good. So you understood what is function calling, right? So it's the ability for the LLM to give you a very good structured output. So if it can give a structured output, it will be able to call a function out. Okay, these are all things again. So now you can add a lot of tools. Tools means a lot of function names. So it's not a big thing. Like if your context window increases, you can give a lot of functions. So that one we saw last class, right? So if you remember, what is that? So we added here, right? The friend was talking about, and the schema. Yeah. So this is the schema, right? This is the schema what we are giving. That schema comes from the get schema instruction. That get schema instruction is just giving the schema of the particular function. This is the class, and this is the schema which is getting generated from that particular this function. Okay. So because it calls this class, right, and get the model JSON scheme. So once it gets that, then it will be given passed to here. So what is the thing is here we are just giving for one tool, right? So what we were seeing here was we can give 128 tools. Means you can write 128 functions and then call GPT-4 and ask it to decide which of the tool I have to use or which among, like maybe it can be more than one also, right? So it can choose among 128 tools. So it's not just words, it's functions, right? So it can have a
But
lot of tools, but don't
but
give
sir,
so many tools. Yeah.
it depends on the definition of the function tool that we have defined, right? So like
Yes,
all the
yes.
tools have their description and the model decides which tool would be appropriate to resolve the user query.
Correct, correct. So you should write all these things, but that is the correct way to write. So you should write for any function, even if it is a tool or not tool, even this function is not a tool, but you should write this properly. What is this called? I think somebody
Function
said like
definition.
no, it is called doc string. Okay. Okay, yeah, you can
The
say
doc
function
string, yeah,
definition.
technical term is doc string.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. Yeah, your point is right. So it's a function definition. You should give, right? So same way here also, if you see for the class, I
And
think.
also like arguments that it accepts and the output type of the function. Those also.
Correct, correct. Yes, yes. I don't know whether it was mentioned correctly there or not. Calculation. Okay, this is the point. So this all, if you write this properly, right? So then you don't need to specify this in this doc string. If you write, so we normally write, what do you write? You write user string and leave this. We always think, not we, many students think that this is sufficient. Okay. But if you will specify like this, it is very easy to create a schema of this function. Just one call like this. Where is that? Like this. So you can give this class and then give like. Okay. So same way you can for function also you can get it. So here it's text and then you have to write the string also. Here it is not written. Similarly, you see here in the class, it defines what is the class doing. Each of the variables, you are defining what it should be inside. Okay, so you're doing a description of it. So here I was talking about default is this is a class, right? So temperature units, field, and default is temperature unit Celsius. Okay. So here we are defining another class, temperature unit. Okay. So where you are saying only two options. So enumeration for allowed units. So all these will get captured. Ideally, we can print it and see. Just print and see. Copy and paste. So this is what it has gone to your LLM. Okay. So how it defines the temperature unit and what are all the descriptions, all the details is there. Based on this, it will be very easy for you to understand. Okay. So maybe not for humans, but for LLM, this is very easy thing to understand. Just consider all these next line, then even humans can understand. Okay. So this is the JSON format schema which has gone to the LLM. So that is what you cannot write that schema here. That's why it is good to write the functions correctly in the correct format, and then just call this model.json, write the classes correctly, and then call the model.json schema. This will be more correct way of giving the schema to the LLM. Don't just define it here. Okay, so that's the point. Okay, coming back. So this is the point. As it models are bigger, you can have more tools also, but have limited tools because don't give 120 tools and all. Because it will take a long time, right? If you remember in the I think it's the third or fourth class we saw, right? So O square, right? So the time complexity is very high. You gain more time. Surely that question will come. To remember it. Okay. So parallel function calling. Okay. So we can do. So you see, so what is parallel function calling? It's simple that you just have one query, then we call tool one, get the response. Okay, wait for the response, then call the second tool, wait for the response, and then total time is distant, right? But in nowadays, you can do both at same time, right? So this is two different independent tasks, right? So if it is independent task, you can do it separately, right? So if it is dependent, then you can do it one after the other. But LLM is intelligent enough to understand if it is a separate task, you can get it done in parallel, and then so you save some time. So these are all some advantages. Even if your user query is natural language, LLM can understand it requires two different functions to operate. So, so point here is this you can never, so okay, here it is two functions, two tools, right? So consider some tool one, tool two, tool three, tool four, right? So if you have four or five tools, right? So how many workflows you can make, right? As a human, even if you write code, okay, for the particular type of query, for a particular query one, it goes to here, then goes here, and then these two runs parallelly, and then finally these two are combined at the fifth step. Okay, so like this. But for query 2, it can be like this and this can be done parallelly, and these two are combined at T3 and then T4 and T5. Okay. So like this, many options are possible, right? So that is what we are trying to, but LLM can intelligently do it on the go, right? So it can understand if you, that is called MCP, we'll learn later. But point is that it is very intelligent enough. So when you fit in all tools to it, it will decide, okay, now it has to go to tool 4, tool 1 first. Then after the results of tool 1 comes, like I'll write here. So MCP LLM will decide. So LLM will decide, okay, let me say now with the given query, okay, this is the query. For query, I want tool 1 to respond. So tool 1 has responded. Okay. So once you get that, so LLM will again decide, now I will send it to tool 3 and tool 4 same time. Okay. So it will go to tool 3, tool 2, tool 3, and then both of it will return in parallel. Okay. So now it will combine and then send it to again, maybe tool 3 again, it's possible, right? So same way in parallel, it can send it to tool 4. So tool 3 will respond and tool 4 will respond. So combined result, you can send it to tool 5 and tool 5 will aggregate and then send it back. And then this result, it will send it to the user. Understood, right? So now your LLM can decide which tool and what is the order of. It's not just FT1 has to be first. LLM can decide. And of course, it depends on the query, right? Since the user's natural language query is very much unpredictable. How much ever workflow you make, some amount of autonomous decision has to be given to LLM. But this tool logic is a controlled autonomous, right? So you are giving only 5 tools and decide, okay, you can use any of the 5 tools. So what happens is you are not telling it to use the complete internet. So you know, okay, out of these 5 tools you can use, right? We are not allowing everywhere, but only these 5 tools, it can use it in any order or parallel calls, sequential calls. It will decide based on whatever is the output coming out from a T1. It will decide whether T2, T3 should be called parallelly or it has to directly go to T5. So this intelligence is what is very, very useful. Okay. And all your agentic workflows will have this. Okay. It's not complete automation, but some amount of automation. And this much you have to do. That's how you can make it more intelligent. Okay. Understood? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Good. Vishal. Okay. Rules for level. So rules and all you can read. Okay. So anything down to and constraint generation library. These things you can read. They're all simple. Okay. So this is an alternative approach. People we can use. Matrix. Matrix. So here what I will my personally based on my experience I tell don't go for big libraries until and otherwise it is required. Okay. So there are many simple libraries where you can call the APIs directly. Use that along with this instructor library. But these two are sufficient. And if at all you go for some self-hosted LLM, these three should be sufficient. I don't think so. That is what is written here at this point. You see, complex validation logic beyond basic schema. So basic schema is simple. So this we have already seen this only in our code, okay, the native plus Python. So, but if you want, you can use for Langland, but this is mostly fine, and this is more of production grade. Okay. So don't until if you I don't know when this is required. I have never used this. but you can use it. Okay. So it's like ready-made, some things are available. So if you prefer to use it, it's fine. But it's better to use this one because you have a guarantee of what you know it will do. So I always need control, right? Because that's the way you build production grade. If you don't have control, then it's fine. If you don't require controls, that's why using big libraries like. And another thing, for a simple work, you should use very uh, less weight frameworks. Don't go for big frameworks unnecessarily. It's not good for production. Unnecessarily loading your environment. Okay. This what. So you can go through all these things. That's the main point I have mentioned, right? So unnecessarily you're loading the environment. That is the main point. And another thing is you should have control over what you're doing. Just go through this. I think you will understand it by default. If you didn't understand, let me know. Okay. I'll give 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5, 10. Completion. Concurrent, 3 minutes. Okay. Okay, no problem. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Just go through. Yeah, just go through this slide and let me know if you didn't understand any. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. Please. Okay, one more task. It's not going. Okay. Yeah. So coming here, so here this is the React framework, right? So one task what I wanted to give is go to internet, search for what other uh, flows are there in agentic systems. So React is the basic foundation. Okay. But there are some other flows. Like I'll explain here before we go there. So point is what we are saying here is how does this agentic system was got evolved? Okay, that's what the point main crux is here. Okay. So I was telling about that, right? So if you few minutes before when we were discussing, I think the code or somewhere, what we did, I think the code on. So for example, we got the query, right? We got the query, we send it to LLM along with prompt, right? So this is for the structured call. Okay. So this gives the raw output, correct? So what we do now, we do a pedantic validation, correct? And then what we did, we were once it's validated, we will just use that validated and extracted and validated JSON. So what we get is we get a string output, okay, and we extract it to a JSON, and then validated JSON. Okay. So once we got the validated JSON, now you can use that in your function calling. You can call any function. This is manually done, right? Manually means this is coded, right? This is the way you code. So one thing what I said was during validation, if there is any mistake, okay. So what you can do, you can send it back to the LLM like this. So what you do, you send back the extracted JSON, right? What you send is you extracted JSON. This is called a workflow, right? It's a simple thing. We call it as a workflow, but this is very simple. Just that you should know what to send. Don't send only the error because LLM is see we call it as we say we do like this, right? We do like this. But point is this is a new LLM call. It's not this LLM does not know that it generated this string, okay, using this query and prompt. Okay. So always understand that this is a new LLM call. It's the same LLM you call, but it doesn't have any history, right? So it is not like your chat GPT. Chat GPT is a workflow, right? Chat GPT or Gemini, this one are all workflows. It's not a single LLM call. But what we are discussing, this is just it LLM call. Okay, so this does not have any history that this LLM was called with this query and prompt. Okay, it will forget. Once it has given you the raw output, it will forget. Again, it's a new call. So in the next call, what you do, suppose the pydantic validation failed. So this is like success, correct? So this is a success if it fails. So if it fails, it comes here. So what you send the extracted JSON, which was done by, which had come from that LLM, along with that error, whatever your pydantic validation error, and then a new prompt. Okay, this prompt is different, not the same prompt, because what should be this prompt? This prompt should be like this is the uh, JSON and there is an error in this JSON. Oops. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Just give me a minute.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Just give me a minute. I think screen is wrong, right?
Yeah.
Just give me a minute. It's a power cut. Let me come back. Time difference between generator. Okay. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So this new prompt, what it says is, it says that the expected JSON has some error, whatever is this error. So correct the JSON so that we can proceed for the function calling. Okay. So you have to specifically mention it. Okay. So not only this, okay, maybe you can also give the query again. So maybe you can add query also here so that suppose this expected JSON did not have some data, so which was originally present in query. Okay. In the first call, maybe it missed out. Okay. So again, since you are giving the same query, so it will take it and then second time it will correct. Okay. Maybe this error is some missing data, right? Or something like that. Incorrect data. So something like that. So it will give and then second time when it generates the raw output, so it will be validated most probably. Otherwise, it will again go for. So again, this loop, you can limit it. Suppose it keeps on, it should not be like infinite times, right? So minutes and cut. We should cut power for 1 hour. We should not speed. Maybe they are changing something. Okay. The limit you have to put. Okay. So it should not like go on in the fail condition. It should not keep on looping it, right? So you should give a limit. And this is what exactly your MCP also almost does this. Okay. So you will see that in logic. But what we are doing here, your MCP does it automatically. Okay. So that's the point. So nothing great in MCPs. Okay. So point is MCP is nothing new. These we were doing earlier, like maybe 1.5 years, 2 years before itself. You know, it's 2 years again. 2 years before, we many of them were working on LLM. They were doing this logic for many different tools. Okay, but point is when MCP was introduced, MCP is not something new concept. It's a what do they want is they wanted to say it as a standard way. It's a model context protocol. It's a very good term for what is happening. What was people were using separately, they made it a very standardized thing. Okay. So if you understand this, any doubts in this concept for anyone? This is understandable, right? This part. So if you understand that, now coming back here. So this is exactly the same thing what is done here. So you give the query, so the LLM thinks, okay, what to do. Then it, so this is the LLM call, right? So it will create the function and then it will, the code will call the function, okay? So it will search and then it will get the result in this. And now the thought process, whether again it is, this is a secondary thought process, ideally. So this will again go to the thought. This is the one set. Okay. It will check whether it is fine or not. If it is fine, then the answer is given to the user. If not, it will be again sent to reframe the question or try to understand it in a better way. Okay. So that's like, this is like a validation step. Okay. This is a validation step. Understood, right? So this is like this. If you see, so thought first it thinks. So it doesn't think itself. Okay. So you have to write the prompt accordingly. So you have to make it think, then take action, observe. So whenever it executes a tool or function call, and then get the result back, and that result receive and process the result and analyze the observation. Okay. So whatever is the output, you have to analyze, and then if there is any mistake, then repeat until the task is completed. And there is a max iteration limit. Okay. This is what I was talking about as limit. Okay. So you can specify the limit. This one is outside LLM. Okay, so don't think that all the things are done by LLM. LLM's requirement is to just call the function. Function is outside the LLM. Okay, LLM does not go and do the work. Function does its work. Okay, so it's like execute a tool. So it will tell you you should execute a tool. Okay, you have to go and call the database. Okay, so there are ways to automate it also. That is what is MCP. But we will go to MCP later. But currently, LLM will think, okay, for a given question, what should be the thought process, and then it will tell you, okay, execute a tool. Okay, and then once your tool execution you have done through the code, and then when you send back the output, now LLM will receive it and then process the results, and then again it will observation and thought is almost you can club it, but you just wanted to differentiate. Okay, so when you observe itself, you will understand, right? And then this is like a validation step. Once the processing of the result is done, we will analyze whether that is the exact requirement of the user's question or not. Okay, just like a validation step. Once that is yes, then you give the final answer. If it is not yes, then you will again repeat the task completion. Going back to the thought process, finding, okay, do you want to call any other tool? Yes, you send it to you do tell to execute a tool, to execute a tool and then bring the result and then you combine the result. Then again think, okay, the second time combined result along with the first time combined result, both together is sufficient or not. If not, again you go back. If yes, then go to the final answer. Okay. So the loop control. The loop control is important. Okay. So you should not give infinite time repetition. Okay. So now coming to this point. Okay. So tell me, it's already written. Okay. Since I wanted to keep this point. Okay. Uh, so what is the chain of thoughts? Have you all used chain of thoughts? Okay, that's a question.
Yes, sir. I was asking about to ask same question. Is it? It looks like chain of thoughts. Like, I mean, few short chain of thoughts, maybe, kind of. I mean, we can.
COT does not have like a recurring loop in it
Yes,
unless and
that is
until we specify it.
yes. COT does not have a recurring loop. Correct. What else? This is also correct.
So COT is out of the LLM itself, right? Not as a application.
No, COT is the process in which you make the LLM think. So, for
Mm.
example, you give a question and you expect an answer. That is a simple prompt, right? For example, I ask, what is give
We can also perform COT
software?
with examples, right, sir? Like give a few example of how to process the thoughts and provide an answer.
Hmm. Correct, correct. Yeah, exactly. So, what is the population of the capital of India? Okay. For example, this is a question. So in this case, you just one way is just send it to LLM and it will give an answer. Okay. So this was the easiest way and we used to be that. Okay. And it was okay. So coming back, this is simple. Okay. So in this, we are giving a simple prompt. And the prompt says that okay, answer the given question. This is the question, and the LLM will answer given answer. Okay. So this is a very simple question. Of course, LLMs most probably will answer here. But now I give another route. Okay. So in COT method, I'll tell break this question into two parts. Okay. So I'm telling it explicitly to that. So it's just a prompting way, right? So it's like if we tell don't just answer, think and answer, right? It's something like that. Chain of thoughts. So we are telling the prompt, this prompt is different. Nothing but this prompt can have some examples also how to think. Okay. So that is what one of the freedom we are saying. You can say, like, give an example how to think. Okay. Or you can define it in the prompt only. You have to define it. It's optional that you can give one more example how to um, like think. Okay. But in prompt, what you say is now, first step, break the question into sub questions, for example. Okay. Second one, find the interrelation between the question. Okay, so relationship between different questions. Uh, and third one, execute the questions in the order of the correct order. Okay. Then fourth point, aggregate the answers. And then fifth point is finally give the final answer. So the same question, same thing, same question is done like this. So like for example, break. What I mean as break is like what is the population of the capital of India? Okay, this is a very simple question. You can make it more complicated to make it easier and as you taken this question. So if you say here, how can I break it? What I expect LLM to do is so first it should know what is the capital of India, right? So then only you have to find the population. So now I wanted to break this question as like, what is the population of the capital of India? And second one, a sub question of it is like, what is the capital of India, right? And another sub question is, what is its population, right? So this will be break like two questions. You have broken the question into two steps, and then now I am asking you to find the parallel things, right? So whether it is parallel or it is sequential. Okay. So whether can I run both the questions parallelly? So population of the capital, because I should know the capital, then only I can get the population, right? So first I should get the capital population. This is one question, sub question. Second question is capital itself, right? So I need the capital's name, then only I will get the population. Population is the next entity. So now what I'm saying is whether it can be parallelly or sequential. It should be sequential, right? Because I should have the capital and then population. So ideally, second point output should be second question followed by first question. Sub question I'm talking about. Second and okay. Then third one I'm saying, okay, now execute it in the order, right? So this is the order. So for second question, the answer is New Delhi. Okay, Delhi. And this the first question is I will write instead of 1 to 3, I will write this increasing. This is A and this is B. Okay. And then order is B followed by A. So B's answer is Delhi. A's answer is something. Or maybe whatever is the finger coming. Maybe some crores, I think 3 or 4 crores like this. Can be correct. It's increasing, right? So whatever it is, I found it. And the fourth one is the aggregation. If there is an aggregation, if it was a parallel operation, you have to aggregate, right? So in this case, fourth step is not required. Fifth step is to get the final answer. The final answer is 3 crore, right? So what that is the answer for this. So 3 crores is the final answer. So point what I'm saying is, so this is a very simple question. Ideally, and a very good LLM can answer directly. But if you say like mathematical questions, in those type of questions, these kind of stepwise, you should give a prompt such a way that think and analyze. Okay. So this is COT. Okay. Understood? So you can give an example also. So this is a very simple example. You can give that as an example as part of the prompt itself. So whatever the query later you give it to the LLM along with the prompt which already has a uh, steps as well as this example. Now the LLM will be able to think in that terms. It will first break and then find parallel or sequential steps and then execute the steps, then aggregate it, and then finally you do correct answer. Final answer. Okay. Understood. So one more thing in React is there is no function call. Okay. So in COT, only think, and answer. Means you are breaking the steps 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 steps, like in the previous example what we have mentioned. 5 steps and then finally answer. Okay, linear reasoning chain. There is no loop. There is no tool calling or function calling. There are two things. Okay. So there is no loop. That's what was mentioned as single path. Okay. And since there is no loop, this is a single path. There is no recurring mechanism. And that is what made it as a React is the main foundation where agents were have developed. Okay. So that is what it was written. Foundation of agentic systems. Okay. So remember that. Okay. So anybody asks you how agents work, it's nothing great. It's just that for agents it is little more than this, but this is the foundation. Okay. So when you can iterate it, right? So when you give it to an LLM, that's what one of my junior long before asked me. We had to prepare some context wise for a DB. Okay. So he used to give schema. So I told him use schema files and XML files. Okay, so and then there are some help documents. She told them, okay, use these and then get the context file. So what he did, he used Copilot. Okay, uh, Copilot, Copilot. Copilot means the VS Code Copilot. Okay, so not those chatbot. So VS Code Copilot, what it gave very good context files. That was very good. Okay. But then when I told him we cannot use VS Code in real time, right? Real time, or we have to automate it for 2000 tables, 3000 tables. You cannot put your documents into Copilot and get the result, right? For 2000 documents. And that too, even if you can, it will again change. The schema might change in the database. So again, you cannot identify it. You have to automate everything. So if you have to automate, you have to create the automated pipeline in your system, right? So I told him to create automated pipeline. So he made this not even chain of thoughts. He made this simple thing. The documents, send it to LLM and get the context file. Okay, simple call. And then told me, because this is very difficult, that we cannot get that kind of efficiency what I used to get in Copilot. So I hope you guys understand now better that why that flow is not correct. Everyone agrees? Does anybody disagree? I hope you guys know already the answer, right? Why that should not be followed and how to get the correct answer. So all these are the reasons, right? So it's not just one. There is no recovery mechanism. In the LLM call, in a single LLM call, there is no recovery mechanism. And why Copilot gave a good answer is because it had a recovery mechanism. The VS Code Copilot, it runs. So if you go and run, I don't want to share because that's not Office code will be there, but you can see if you implement Copilot in your VS Code and tell it the problem, it will review your code base or your document, whatever you are given. It will review it. If it is a code file, it will review, it will correct, it will run it, get the error and take it back and then again review it, like correct the code and then give it. So you don't need to do anything. You just have to correct it and then give the starting error. It will automatically correct everything and give you the output. Whether the output is correct or not, that is your duty you have to check. But it will give you a working code. That's the point. Okay. So in fact, if you would have defined that correct output properly in the correct for LLM understandable way, it will give you correct working code. But if you didn't give the correct definition of your output, then it will give you a working code. Whether the answer is correct or not, that's it's your duty to worry. Okay. But if you give the correct prompt, it will surely give you that much guarantee, considering bigger element. Okay. So like GPT-5, 4.5 or 4 also will do good job. Whichever coding LLM, good coding LLM. As I already mentioned in the second class, always while selecting an LLM for your use case, see its training data. Okay, so pre-training data should be checked whether it is useful for coding or it's useful for natural language output or it's useful for function calling. All these have to be checked how they have trained, pre-trained. Okay, that's very important. And one more thing, a quick one. Hmm. This is one very recent model. Just wanted to share with you guys. It's on again not in syllabus. Don't worry. So there are a few things when you go to this page, right? So I think this came last week. I remember it. It's a date written. So if you go to the model file, we'll get it in. You see, 5 days ago, right? So I was looking into this. I was reading about the model cloud. So when you go to the model cloud, right? So you see this BF16, okay, quantization. what we were discussing. Okay, so this is the model size, right? And instruct means it is instruction following model. Okay, so SFT, what we were discussing, right? Structured fine tuning. It is done. Okay. So the model knows when you give a query, it will give an answer. Okay. So that's it. And it is text generation model. Okay. So what I wanted to why I came to this now is that we can call all these things are fine. Um, hmm. So if you see here, so model description, right? So it is developed by an institute, date cutoff. So this is the data what they have used till this date. Whatever data they could collect was till this date, and that they have used for training. Okay, that is first thing. Hmm. Model source is here on screen. Model dependency. So SFT, we have already seen this. DPO, we will see next class. Okay. So RLVR, we are not seeing, but you can read it. And verifiable, we are. If you understand RLHF and PPO and GRPO, then this is nothing. Okay, this is a very simple advanced one. Okay. And most importantly, you see the data sets. This is what you have to use. As a, if you are developing any system using this LLM, you have to go through these data sets. Okay. That is the right way to do it. Okay. Without going through also, you can build a system. I agree with that. If you are doing, that's fine. Uh, but it is wise and you will make the right decision whether to use this model at the correct point, and you will be more educated. And if your client comes with a new requirement, you can confirm whether this model will be able to suffice that, or you have to change the model or not. Okay, that is why you should go through this uh, data. Okay, so this data sets. That's the point I wanted to highlight. Okay. Let's go back. In this same. This is the latest model only, because it's I think last week it came. So you can pull some small model. This is smallest is 7 billion. You can quantize and pull it. Okay. You can quantize it. This is BF16, right? So you can quantize to NF4 and then pull it. Or maybe somebody would have quantized it already. Okay. So this is 4 GB, 550, 20 GB, almost 16 GB it will be. Okay. So we can see some quantization model will be. The quantization model, 26 models are there. You can pull any of these 26 models. You can also take it and quantize it and put it back. So you can pull this 4-bit, just one model you can pull it. The same model, this community they have pulled it and then quantized it to 4-bit. Okay. So if we go back to this, you see now the earlier one we were seeing 3, 4 plus GBs, right? So it was around 16 GB total. Now you see just models, just only one model that's expensive, which is a maximum 4.5 GB if you consider all other files also. Maximum is actually 1.4.2 GB. So you have reduced the memory by 3 times. So, but the quantization is very harsh here. NF4, I guess. See, you can see not much details, but you can go and see in NF4 value. 4-bit means normalized float point NF4. Okay. So you can use this model even for your assignments in after mid-exam. You can think of using it. Okay. Makes sense, right? People are learning or not? So useful.
Yes, sir. Very
Yes,
much,
sir.
very much we are learning. Thank you.
Okay, good. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so COT, react time chain of thoughts. Okay, so this is again the same logic. You can just go through same thing. Mostly when to use COT. As I mentioned, math problems will require logical puzzle. So wherever you wanted a detailed questions, so there you will require COT. Okay, wherever you wanted a external connections. Like your LLM has to decide whether now you have to go and search a database, or whether it has to go and search an API, whether now it has to go and search internet, or multi-step flows. Like multi-step flows, what it does this mean is it's talking about like your first LLM will decide, okay, now I will send it to a small LLM. You have a SLM, not LLM. There is one LLM. This is maybe specially you're trained for some purpose. Okay. So you can give description of that to this prompt. So this is your query. Okay, you're feeding to this LLM along with the prompt. Okay. And so in the prompt, like how we gave the schema, right, in our code. So here in the prompt, you can add the description of this SLM. Okay. So same way there is another SLM. So what does this guys do? It is like you can saw this is like a manager LLM. Okay. So these are all engineer LLMs. Just a layman's language I'm telling. So these are all trained people. So this guy is a front end specialist. He knows to create very good HTML, JavaScript, CSS, whatever it is. Okay, whatever it is. So this guy is very good at maybe LangChain documentation, okay, coding. So maybe another guy is there, SLM3. Okay. So this guy is like a data engineer. Infrastructure, any question you ask, he will be. So in fact, this guy is like maybe is like AWS specialist, infrastructure. So there is another one, SLM4, is an Azure specialist. Okay. SLM5, you can GCP specialist. Okay. So you give all means, what does that mean? In this prompt, you define, okay, SLM1 can do this thing. This is first guy. Second guy, this is it, like this. Okay. So you'll give all the five as an input to the LLM along with this query. Based on this query, the query can be anything because it's maybe this chatbot is used by a developer or another team, right? Or maybe another team, maybe HR. Okay. So HR is asking a question to this manager LLM. Okay, I have a currently I wanted to build a platform. I already have a front end, so I need a back end to be developed. So whom should I contact? So this, what does this manager LLM will do? It will send it to this particular SLM1 who is very good at backend, right? So he will do the work and then send it back to the manager LLM, and then he will send it back to the HR, right? This is what is done. So what I'm calling as manager LLM, don't be biased on a manager. It's an orchestrator. So the technical term is orchestrator, but just for team explanation, I gave manager. Yeah, orchestrator. So this is what we call it as multi-step workflows. Okay, multi-step. It's not exactly multiply. I made it more complex. Multi-step is little bit simpler. So it is like one guy will decide. So one guy will decide whether it has to go to this guy and then followed by this guy, something like that. Okay. So it can go like this also. Multi-step you can tell, but making it overall is like this. Okay. So there is not like fixed five SLMs. It can be three SLMs, can be 10 SLMs, or it can be LLMs also. It's not just that main guy should be LLM and the sub agent should be SLM. No, it can be also LLM. You can tell one more LLM. Maybe this guy is specialist on coding. Okay. So this guy's duty is very less. You guys are very good, right? So you know, big manager doesn't require to do technical work. He has to just send it to the correct person, right? Based on their availability. So that is what is these five terms. Okay. To understand when to use and when to. So preventing infinite loops. So these are all things, right? Iteration limits, right? How many times you have called. So every time LLM calls one SLM or one function, you will note it, right? Repetition, detection, you have to do the detection, then only you can note it down, right? Tool failure also is there. So tool failure, if there is something is there, that also you should understand and then report it. So it's not like that LLM takes its own like orchestration position It does not mean that you don't know whatever it happened in between. How many times it called SLM1, SLM2? No, you should not be. Because in production, you can never go like that. Okay. It's not like that you take 20 times, still whether you are giving answer or not, only that matters to me. No, not like that. Okay. So you should be able to track each and every call, what it makes. Whether it send it to SLM1 and took it back and then send it to SLM2, took it back, everything you should be able to log. That's very important for going for production. Okay. At least to some level. If you want to make it too much automation, that is fine. Too much autonomous, it's fine. But still keep some track at least for your confidence to get built up that okay, let me give the full at least 90% autonomous requirement to it. Okay. So that's the point. Same thing. We are talking about this. Few short examples means we are providing 2 or 3 examples to the LLM to provide the answer. Okay. Chain of thoughts. I've already explained very nicely. So it will be analysis. It has to be plan. It has to do. These are all some examples, right? So this will be really required for me. Action verification. That's the answer. This is last step. What we are doing. First, it has to do analysis, then plan, then execute the tool, and then do an verification. All this we are doing. Okay. So, but executing tool, it will not be. Okay. We have to do it separately. But here you will get a very easy JSON report output so that you can do the execution of tool. Okay, this is the combination. So this is what we already discussed. React agent implementation. Okay, thought, action, observation, and then again we will send it to thought for if there is a failure. Ideally, observation and validation is same. Okay, that's what I already also mentioned. This 3 process you have to mention. This diagram only is very important. Okay. So thought, action, observation. Observation is nothing but validation. So it's not like processing of result. It's also that. Okay. So once the result comes out of this action, whatever is the result, you aggregate it and check whether the answer is correct based on the user query. If it is correct, it will send the final answer. Otherwise, it will send for the thought process again. Okay.
Sir, one question, sir. How it
Yeah.
decides the answer is correct?
How it decides means. So when you ask a question,
because it is going into a loop, right, sir? Like, say for example, Paris, that one prompt was there, right? What is the capital
Correct.
city where Paris is located?
Correct.
So now, how does this flow, right? React flow, which is in a loop, how it identifies that Paris is a capital city? Because
It
it
will
is in a
not.
loop, right?
Yeah, I will tell you one thing. So the validation here, I didn't tell it will review the answer. So validation means whether the answer looks correct or not. So as for a given question, so you're asking, okay, what is 2 plus 3? If the action gave it 6 also, the LLM is not intelligent enough to understand whether the answer is correct or not. It will only validate, okay,
Okay.
for a given asked question, 2 plus 3, there should be a number. And LLM will tell, okay, it is a number, so I'll give an output. Understood, right? So it's your action should be, it can only validate the answer. It cannot do, okay, Paris is correct or not. No, it cannot do that. That is it. So that is why you should do this action, this whatever functions you are giving, it should be validated. So in this case, it was a very easy point. Paris, of course, any LLM itself can answer. But think of something like in your domain
Right,
specific
right.
questions,
In a
right?
domain or a banking or wherever if you implement this, right?
Correct.
That's what.
So it will
Yeah.
not be able
So,
to tell.
you are
Yeah.
saying, you are saying this action second step wherein we should
Hmm.
decide that function called decision, right?
Correct.
When it comes gets the Paris, we should redirect. This is the final answer, right? Some
Correct. So
indicator has to
whatever
pass
your
on to the observation.
DB run or any table you is going and searching, right? Or any database, any other blob storage or internet, it is going and searching. All these things, you have to give correctly. Or particularly, not internet search is not a good thing. You can give particular APIs, like exactly where to search for, right? So maybe a particular technical term you ask the queries, okay. So then it will go and search a Wikipedia's API. So most probably the answer is correct. Yeah. So whatever answer it gave,
Okay.
this step will understand, okay, the answer looks correct or not. It will not be able to give the correct fact. The correct fact the guarantee comes from in these actions, the functions, the correct functions, it is your duty to give. If you give a wrong place
Right.
and a very correct looking, that's what we call as hallucination, right? So it will look
And
like correct.
this is where the COT fails, right, sir? This action function call decision may not be able to, that
COT
COT
fails
cannot make
in
on that. Mm.
COT fails in means like unavailability of knowledge. For example, I say that
Mm.
there is a maybe today there is a new country came in and its capital is suppose XYZ. Okay. So if the user asks the question, okay, what is the capital of the new country? So it will say, okay, now I have to refer the internet, correct? So it will go to the internet and then find that, okay, somewhere in the article it is mentioned as XYZ. So if it comes here, it will validate whether it looks like a name. This validation will not check, okay, whether XYZ is the capital. No, it will not go to internet and check. This is not going to do that. So whatever is the output, even if it says New Delhi is the capital of that new country, for example. So in that case, this will give correct answer as New Delhi is the capital of the new country. Understood. Okay. So same way you can put it in your domain language and domain specific point. There it will be logically applicable. So I gave a lot of obvious questions I discussed. Ideally, it is technical questions wherein this logic will be very useful, which the LLMs does not know on its own. So in that case, COT will 100% fail because COT does not have uh, function calling capability, right? Which just that it will think. If you do not know the answer, how much ever you think, you cannot give the answer, right? So that's what is COT. COT will think, but it is not able to. It doesn't have the answer in its memory because the new country came just yesterday. So how can the LLM, which was pre-trained on a data till December 2024, how can it able to answer today the country which was newly created yesterday, right? So that's the point. That's why this tool calling requirement, function calling requirement came. Okay. Okay. These
Yeah.
things are
Thank you.
additional slide. Yeah. Sure. Okay. These things are cost analysis. You can see. Okay. So just go to it's all self-explanatory. And these are all some pitfalls you can read through. For mostly for code implementation. Okay. If you didn't understand anything, let me know. Nothing to explain here. Okay. Okay. Good. Anything else? You can read through all these things. I do stuff with that. Any questions?
So regarding multi-agent systems, right? Is it like it's a microservice-based kind of a architecture, multi-agent systems?
Um, yes and no
There
for
will be
your answer. Yes
because
and
there
no
will be
for
an
your answer.
orchestrator, and then the orchestrator will call their child,
Yes,
parent,
yes,
and child kind of a
yes, yeah, yeah. So
architecture, right?
you can actually, it is good to make it like a microservice, right? So you can have one
Mhm.
LLM, that's we call it as agent. Okay, now I don't want to. Okay, let's have this. This is the master agent. Okay, so this is the master agent. So once your query comes in, so it can decide whether okay, it has to go to a agent one. Okay. So then agent two, same thing. I was talking about SLM, right? So same thing. So this master agent knows there is an agent here, there is an agent here. This agent maybe is an MCP agent. This is an MCP agent which has access to tool 1, tool 2, tool 3. Okay. And this guy has access to tool 4, tool 5. Okay. This guy has access to tool 6, tool 7. Okay. So like this. Maybe another guy doesn't have any tool. It is fine-tuned guy. Okay. So these are all just referring, like this will ask this API, get inside, ask this API, get the to and fro discussions will be there. But here it is self, whatever knowledge is there with this, like entity extraction in your company where you want it's like entity extraction. You can use that kind. So this guy is master agent, right? So the query comes in here. This guy decides when to use this guy, when to use this guy, when to use this guy. So it's not like that it will go in order. It can go to A3 directly, get some information. Then after that, go to A1. Using this output of A3, go to A1, get some additional information, bring it. So now it has answer from A3, A1. Say maybe again go to A3 with that revised answer of A1, then get some information. Then go to A4, get some information. All these, this guy will decide. Okay. So this connection is called as A to E. Okay. It's a simple logic, but this is
Right.
Google's protocol. And this
Mm.
connection between agent and tools is called MCP connections. These are all just protocols, not a great thing. If you know how to call this guy, main logic, if you know function calling, you can call anything from LLM, anything. This is the major thing. If your agent is LLM is able to do function calling, all these architecture you can prepare. So it's not, this is one way of preparing a flow, right? Master agent will be used to call this agent one, agent two, agent three, agent two. Or you can also have something like there is a master agent. There is no master agent, okay, for example. So maybe the query is there. So you send it to parallel agents, right? So maybe agent one, send it to all agents. So you wanted to process everything. Okay. Each of the agent has some tool one, tool two, something else. Parallelly. So this guy has tool three, tool four. This guy is maybe fine tuned. Okay, I will write it to you. Okay. So now you have to get all the three, or maybe all these two, send it to another agent that is A4. This guy send it to another agent, A5. Okay. Then send it to a master agent. So it's not like master agent is to be studied. You send it to the master agent, and this guy gives the user out. The point is there is no fixed flow. Okay, it's not like this is the only way you can orchestrate. You have to have an orchestrator. You should have no. You can define based on your use case, business use case. There is no correct way of making the workflow. If you see, if you see, I myself have made for my at least 20 use cases. Like for example, for your own this what do you call this mm, assignment verification, I have to make like this, something like this. Okay, not exactly that, not so much complicated. It will be like 2, 3 calls and I put a React loop around it. So once you understand the basic, right? So you can create your own. That's where you become an architect. Simple. Just find some use case and then start thinking about it. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Uh,
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you going to open now or for the quiz?
You're talking to me? Are you talking to me? That's a question to me or you?
Yeah, just I mean, just we are going to wrap up the today's session, and are you going to open that quiz?
Yeah, open by 6:30. Notice I have a I'll open in some 2 minutes. But have you sent the email?
Yeah, I have sent just sent now.
Another thing when you address now,